Hi and welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to learn to draw the eye, a realistic eye, as an exercise. This is part of drawing exercises that I do lately. On the left upper side you can see the reference. All I'm using is 3 different pencils. I use mechanical pencils. 2 of them are HB and 1 of them is 4B. And I'm starting with very light lines. I'm trying to build the structure of the eye. I'm looking at the reference and just going through the lines. Very light touch. I apologize that my head is going into the frame every once in a while. It's just because I'm just looking to the left at the reference itself while I'm drawing. The process is very slow and tedious. Normally to draw a realistic eye it's not going to take a long time. Probably about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours if you want to be very, very precise. Trace the lines softly before you start actually the shading process, but once you have the general layout and structure of the eye, you can start doing the shading. When I'm doing shading, I usually go and I hatch slowly. Not too fast. It's kind of a meditative process. As I said in the previous video about drawing exercises of portraits with pencil. It's kind of a meditative process. I'm just going through the motions. I'm sitting with nice music in the background and I'm looking at the reference and I'm trying to work out the different values. In the beginning, I'm not trying to be very, very precise, but just to lay down some graphite on the paper. The mechanical pencils that I'm working with are very nice. They give me a nice texture while I'm drawing. I guess you can do the same with any pencil. It's just a preference of mine to work with mechanical pencils. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm trying to build values slowly. Not too fast, not to go to the darkest dark in the beginning or the lightest light in the beginning, but just to find myself relative values, what I call relative values. So I'm laying down some lighter values, mid values, and darker values, just to see the difference between them. Every once in a while I stand up and go back a little bit to look at the drawing from a distance. It always helps. And I'm trying to follow the structure of the eye in terms of the anatomical movement of the eye. So in the eye we have a lot of folds and different light that comes from above or from below. We can always see the upper lid darker and the lower lid receiving the light. I'm working with a brush here just to clean up a little bit the graphite from the paper. It also helps with a very nice kind of natural texture, which I like. You don't have to do that when you do exercises, but it gives a nice feeling to the drawing itself. And then I go back with my pencil and darken the areas after I brush because they lose some of the values. I'm not pressing too hard and I'm working with electrical eraser to get to the white of the paper for the highlights. And the second highlight that you've seen here, I'm just brushing it with the eraser without operating it actually. Because I don't want something very, very bright. When it comes to the eyebrows, I lay down a layer of graphite just to give myself something with a lot of differences, a lot of diversity in the values, and then I try to build the shades around the eyebrow. So I'm not drawing individual hairlines in that specific case. I want to reach a kind of more natural look to the eye. But you can also, go ahead and do individual hairs and clean it up slowly. It's also a nice process, which I demonstrate in my previous videos. You can find it in my channel if you like. The HB pencil that I'm working with right now is 0.5 in size, so it's very thin. It helps with hair, but also it helps with small touches of values in the different folds. I find it very, very useful. The golden pencil that you see is also HB, and it helps with covering more areas of graphite. This is an eraser, Tombow something. I don't remember exactly the name, but it's very nice. It helps with building highlights and hair and all sorts of stuff like that. As you can see in this, with this pencil that I mentioned earlier, creating the hair around the eye is very easy and nice. It's a nice process. It's a bit tedious, but it's not that bad. We can pay attention to the anatomy and see that the hair is coming actually from below the fold on the upper lid, on the more internal part. And here I'm just covering a little bit of the darker values around the eyebrow and below. And I'm not smoothing it with anything for now. I'm just covering the area, filling the paper with graphite and giving myself some space, some material basically to work with. The building of the eye, basically it's very common thing that if you want to draw a realistic eye, it is said that you need to draw 100 eyes. So, I'm drawing every day at least 2 different portraits and, eyes or nose or something like that as a practice. I spend about 2 hours doing this on a daily basis. You can do that as well. And I'm planning a live session on a daily basis on my channel. If you like that, please let me know in the comments if you like to join, where we will basically draw anything you like. We can draw eyes, nose, complete faces and portraits, etc. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.